Hi everyone, welcome to this lesson. This lesson will be all about brushes, all about watercolor brushes. Let's start with the most basic criteria for brushes, what it's made of. There are real hair brushes, real animal hair. They usually use, I think, squirrel hair, and there are the synthetic brushes, which use synthetic materials. I only use synthetic brushes because today in 2021 the quality of the synthetic brushes are so good. They don't fall from the real hair brushes. Unnecessary cruelty against animals when you have these perfectly good, excellent synthetic hair brushes. So, where do I get? Let's start with the most important thing. If you live in a place like me, I live in Israel, I live in Tel Aviv, we don't have much art shops here, we don't have almost no selection, no variety, it's hard to get a good brush, and it's super expensive. So I order my brushes online. Personally, I order it from AliExpress. You can find, I guess, anywhere, Amazon, anywhere you can find these ones. I ordered, they cost me $3 each. The biggest one cost me $3. This one costed a little less, and I want to tell you it's the best brushes I've ever had. Synthetic hair, $3 brush, best one I have. I only use them. So, let's talk about the brushes shape, because you have a lot of brushes shape. You have this square shape that can come, of course, in small size, huge size, all kind of sizes. And this one is good for, first of all, it's good for washes. Like if you have a big wash on your paper, you want to do like a big wash of color, the easiest will be to use this brush, because sometimes you do like big paintings for clients and you need like a big brush for wash. So the square one is good for washes. You can also do it with the small ones. It's good for straight lines. I don't know, whatever you need to be straight, this is a good brush. And I like to use it to do strips for patterns. When I do patterns, I use it for strips, all kind of shapes that needs to be a bit straight. This is a great brush. We also have the round tip brush. Round tip brush is my favorite type of brush because it's everything. The tip of the brush gives you a very thin line. If you barely touch the paper with it, it can give you a very thin line. The belly of the brush, the middle of the brush, you can press it against, and it's like the thickest line you can get out of your brush. And it just has so many functions. I love the round tip brush. I also have this one, which is kind of a round tip brush, but as you can see, opposed to this one, it's a little bit different because it has this tip. I love this brush. I just love it. If I want to do like make a leaf shape, so the tip gives me the beginning of the leaf, which is like super thin, the branch that holds the leaf, and then you push it, and it's like has a huge belly, so it gives you, it can give you, depends how hard you push. It can give you a very fat line, and if you don't push it all the way, a thinner line. This is a great brush. I have it in 2 sizes. This is huge. This is also good for washes. When I do oceans or skies, I like to use this one as opposed to this one to do washes. If I do like a deep sea wash, I prefer to use this one for the wash, because when I do deep sea, I need the currents. The ocean has a lot of undercurrents, under waves. It's curly, so I can use this brush to do like a round wash, however you want to call it. Like inside there's like certain wave and a deeper blue, while this one gives you like a straight line. So it's good for like horizons, landscapes. deep oceans, I usually do the wash with this round brush. I also have what you call, actually I don't know how you call it in English. This is a brush where it can hold the water inside it. It's good for traveling. When I travel, like not when I travel, when I go sit in coffee shops to work, I like to take this with me because I don't need the cup of water next to me because, oops, inside there's a place to hold the water, you see? It's full of water. And then you push on the brush. It's plastic, it's very soft plastic. So when you push it, it takes water. Okay, I'll show you all the brushes, so I don't want to push it right now because it's dry. So I have this in a square shape, and I also have it in round shape. And it's good for traveling. It's good if you don't want to mess around with the water. It's already holding the water. The only problem with these brushes I came across with is that, you see, I use blue. Now it's completely blue. Now even if I wash it like under the sink for a few minutes, even then if I push here, if I press to take water out, the water will still be a little bit blue. So that's the only problem I found in these brushes. It's also hard to control the amount of water you want to push out. It's not the ideal brushes. I rarely use it, to be honest. So in a brush, you have like 3 areas. You have the tip of the brush, which is the thinnest part. You can do like thin lines with. It's the beginning of the brush. The middle of the brush is the belly of the brush, where it gives you the fattest line, this part. So this is the tip. You can do like fine line with it, thin line with it. And this is the belly of the brush, where you can push it and get the full thickness of the line from your brush. And you have the back of the brush. You have the back of the brush. It's just there. So I have a lot of brushes. I have a lot of these wood brushes, which costed me like cheap, like half $1. I knew at the beginning when I bought it, I knew it's a bad brush because it costed me nothing, but I can still use it. I can still use it for, like, because it's so bad, it's bad quality, it's so hard. I used it like once and it's not getting back to normal, to smooth lines. And so I use it when I want to do like rough textures, or maybe I do flowers that has like thorns, so I like to give it the edgy thorns. And how do you know, by the way, how do you know if a brush is a quality brush or not? First of all, by using it. But if you're, like, you can see the quality, like this brush, if you wet it, if you wet it and you go around with it on the paper, you can see that even if you do like a round line, like a circle, let's say, it bounces right back to its original shape. It's very bouncy. It's very, it holds itself. Unlike this cheap brush that I only used once, and it's, you see, it already has hair side, and I only used it once. This one I use all the time, and look how beautiful. So it doesn't hold itself. If you do a circle, you won't have a smooth circle. You will have problems with your circle. You have edges, lines. So this is how you know. How do you know it when you buy it? How do you know the quality? There's no way to know. Basically, I bought this one and I ordered the whole series after that. It's like, it comes from very small shape to biggest one. This is not the biggest one. So they're on their way from AliExpress. I love them. It's my favorite brush. I really recommend. If you want the link for it, by the way, make a comment under this video. I'll send you the link. It's a very good brush. It took me a while to find it. I ordered a lot of brushes until I found the right one. I also have these brushes that I sacrifice. You see the head? So this is good for if you want to do like clouds or fog or whatever texture you need it to be textured. I sacrificed for a few brushes for that I only do that with. That's why they look like this, but I love them. I can't live without them. Also, I have a toothbrush brush. A toothbrush brush is good for springy. I used white paint before and it dried. So it's good for doing like spots. If you do it from far, it's small spots. You know when you do the galaxy paintings and you do like spots? Let me show you 1 second. Okay, so it's not a galaxy. This part. You just hold the brush and like spray with it. So let's just see how it works. Okay, so now I'm using my round tip brush. I wetted it, I put pigment on it, and let's see. So I'm using the tip of the brush. See, it gives you thin lines. Now let's use the belly of the brush. This is the belly of the brush. And basically this is how you make leaves. If you start with the tip of the brush and do a very thin line, and then you slowly press it against, and then you slowly pick it up again. This is one side of the leaf. And the other half, you don't need to do the thin line again. You just start from here and do the belly of the brush, and then you slowly lift it up. So basically this is how you create leaf shapes. Belly, tip. So this is a very good brush. Let's see my favorite brush, this one. Favorite brush. So this one is very, very thick. It holds a lot of paint and water in it as well. This is also a good criteria to see how much it can hold. And this one has the round, we saw it before. So if you use the tip, you get this very thin line. It depends how hard you press. You press it a little bit harder, it will be a little bit thicker. It's all a matter of practice. And now let's see the full potential of the belly of this brush. Yeah, you see? Now this is the best brush I've ever had. Look how fast it bounces back, even if you do a circle. I'll show you the bad ones after, so you'll see the difference. Like if I do like a flower leaf, I have to round it back. It's not almost impossible. It is impossible to do with cheap. Actually, this is $3 brush, so I'm not gonna say cheap. It's hard to do with not quality brushes. Let me show you this one that I bought for about $10. Okay, this cost me $3. This cost me $10. And I can't even do a circle with it. I can't even do like, you see the edges? It's not holding itself. It's not bouncing back. It's impossible to do this round. You see, it sprinkles water. It's $10 brush in my local art shop. This is my $3 brush from AliExpress. If you want the link, again, you should write a comment asking for the link. You see, it's a great brush, and I have it in bigger size, which is crazy. Let's try it. Let's just see the size. Like if you do a really big painting, flower painting, you are going to need this. Wow, amazing. Okay, let's look at this type of brushes, the square ones. Let's do it in a warm color so it won't mix. Let's do it in rose. So these ones are good for just straight lines. I do rainbows with it. Let me show you the rainbows. Like this thing. I like to, like, when they touch in one's place. Yeah, so this is the square brush, the straight brush. Let's see the watercolor brush. Let me show you what I mean when I say that it's not the ideal brush. And let's try this one. The one that's painted blue. So I push it here. I hope you can see it. I push it and the water comes from the brush. You see the water already blue. So yeah, that's a problem, because if I use, like now, the pink pigment and I press on it, it's not really pink because it has blue pigment in it. So it's kind of a purple. It's mixing the blue and the pink. But what you can do is, if you insist of using these brushes, these wet brushes, you can maybe like do one for each, like one for warm colors, one for cold colors, so it won't get mixed, because then you get a different color. And let's try the square watercolor one. Let's do like a line here. So I'm pushing it, it's wet, and yeah, it's I guess maybe for me it's not ideal, but you know, maybe other people like it. I don't know. Like when I said that I don't like hot press paper, I just recently found out that, like, you can use it for certain things, the hot press paper, or the wood pulp. In my paper tutorial, they say I don't use wood pulp, I hate wood pulp, blah blah. I went against wood pulp. Let me tell you, I found a wood pulp paper that's actually really good. It costed more than the usual wood pulp paper, but it's really good one. So it also depends on the quality of the wood pulp. Depends on a lot of things. How do I store my brushes? Let me show you. So I have first of all, my brushes I keep here when they're dry. But when they're wet and I need to dry them, of course, you cannot put a brush to dry like this. No way. It's really bad for the brush. The water goes in, it ruins the brush, so you can't just clean your brush and put it here to dry. No. What you need to do is you have to keep it horizontal. I hope it's the right one word, horizontal. So I have this beautiful piece of stone that I took from my parents' house when they did the floor. I just put it like this to dry. It's like the stone is sitting on my painting table and all my wet brushes are going on it to dry. Like this. Make sure you squeeze all the water out from your brush before you leave it to dry, so it will take less time to dry. So yeah, you need to find somewhere where you can put your brushes in a horizontal way, and for the tip of for the brush itself, for the hair to be free, like not like this, to be in the air. Okay. And then when they dry, I put it back in their place. Okay, so as I said, if you want to get the links for this amazing brush that I have, it comes in so many sizes and it's very cheap. Write a comment in the comment section below. I will send the link. Any other question, please write as well in the comment section. So thank you so much for joining me, and I guess I'll see you in the next video. Bye.